Over the last couple of years, I've noticed this growing trend of glorifying self-experimentation. If you don't know what I'm talking about, it's this idea that you can know what's healthy for you just by trying it. If I try eating a certain way and I feel good, then it works for me. And if I feel bad, then it's just not a fit. Now, at first glance, that seems to make sense. And of course, subjective experience has an important place. If I eat peanuts and my face swells up like a balloon, I should definitely learn from that experience. But as it usually happens on the internet, somebody picks up an idea and pushes it way too far. So now we have a whole current based on this notion that trying something and seeing how we feel gives us all the information we need. Why do I need science and these boring studies and these experts? I could just try it myself. And this idea is precipitated by popular figures reporting that they tried XYZ and they felt this and that, whether it's Joe Rogan recently or Oprah or whoever people are looking to decide what's for dinner. And of course, nutrition is a life and death decision, quite literally, and we should make it based on the best available evidence, not the whims of an entertainer. I see this mindset in the comments all the time. If I talk about the published health risks of something, somebody will pop up and say, "Why are you bashing it? Have you tried it? Just try it for yourself and see how you feel." As if that cancels out everything we know. How many examples do we have of things that feel good and even give us some good results in the short term, but are not healthy in the long run? The obvious example. If I tell you that every time I try to quit smoking, I feel antsy, I can't focus, and I put on weight. How many people report that? Common. If I took that subjective experience and I built a whole theory that tobacco must be good because every time I try to quit it, I feel terrible. And it's not a one-size-fits-all. It works for me. We could all immediately see the flaw in that logic. The point is, our subjective experience can only be trusted so far. And glorifying it to the point of ignoring everything else is just as short-sighted as ignoring our feelings in the first place. And I see that trend as well. People on social media wanting to ram their diet down other people's throats. And if somebody's having problems or symptoms, it must be because they're doing something wrong or they're lying, which just alienates people. Both extremes are missing a part of the picture. We can't disregard somebody's subjective feelings and say, well, you should be doing great because the data says this works. That's not helpful. But the other extreme is just as short-sighted. That if I feel good doing something, and if the short-term results are good, then that automatically means it's healthy long-term. No matter what the statistics show, no matter what the data says. Both extremes are problematic because they both ignore important information. But it's not just lay people who do this, let's be fair. Doctors do it all the time. This superficial approach. How many times do doctors treat the symptom, not the patient? You walk in, this hurts, or I feel this. Before you finish the sentence, they're already writing a prescription by reflex. I'm not saying it's every doctor, let's not be simplistic, and I've been guilty of that mindset before. It's not that doctors don't want to do better. It's just how the system is set up. We're taught to write prescriptions, and there's a drug for every symptom. High blood pressure? Here's a drug for that. High cholesterol? Here's a drug that shuts down your own body's production of cholesterol. Never mind if I'm shoveling it in this way. Drugs for pain, drugs for every symptom. But the root cause gets way less attention. It's a superficial approach. Just put up some nice curtains, never mind the house is crumbling down. The nutrition space is full of examples of this superficial approach. Does your blood sugar go up when you eat carbohydrates? Just stop eating them. This is a solution? I mean, in a pinch, if you have nothing else, sure. But this doesn't address the problem. This goes around it. If my hand hurts, I could stop using it, I guess. But who's going to be happy with that solution? What we want is to fix the problem so that I can go back to using it normally like everybody else. If my carbohydrate processing machinery is broken, I want to fix it, if that's possible. I want to be able to eat a piece of fruit or a bowl of lentils or even some pasta once in a while without having a medical emergency. That's fixing the issue, not telling me, okay, just don't eat it for the rest of your life. Problem solved. We see it with gastrointestinal issues, rampant nowadays. People with IBS, people with SIBO, with dysbiosis, issues where people often have bad reactions with some types of fiber. So now entire philosophies are popping up online that fiber must be bad for you because some people have this intolerance. I just went through this with my own mother. Very dramatic symptoms for a long time, for years and years. Couldn't tolerate any beans, no lentils, most fruits, onion, garlic. A piece of broccoli would take her out for days. We didn't conclude broccoli's poison and just go eat the limited stuff you can tolerate for the rest of your life. No, she wanted to eat better than she was able to at the time. The conclusion is there was something wrong with her physiology, and let's see if we can fix it. And we worked on it for months and months, and I'm really happy to say that she eventually overcame it. And I'll make a whole video about it soon because it's an amazing story, and it's honestly one of the biggest joys of my life to see my mother come from a situation that was very difficult, very debilitating, and completely flip it around to where she's now happy and healthy and eating a spectacularly healthy diet. Beans, cauliflower, broccoli, fruit, whatever she wants. No symptoms, which was impossible 6 months ago. She didn't do it overnight, and it wasn't easy, but once we understood the basic process, we were able to start making good progress. And the bottom line is, of course her symptoms were real, of course we took them seriously, but we didn't accept her state as irreversible until we had exhausted every possibility. So the key is to try to understand the system so we can go straight to the root of the issue, not put band-aids on it or just go with simplistic answers. Anyway, more on that very soon. I want to tell the whole story because it was a light bulb moment for me, and I think it can be helpful for a lot of people. So, do we listen to the studies, the data, the science, or do we listen to our own body? Of course, we use all the available information at our disposal. Scientific studies can't tell me about my individual idiosyncrasies. If I'm allergic to strawberries, what do I care? The studies say it's the healthiest food out there. I can't have them, but my immediate feelings and my short-term results also tell me very little about the long-term effects of something, of eating this or that. The main causes of disease and death in our society are things like heart disease, strokes, cancer, Alzheimer's. You don't feel that stuff building up. You don't feel it plaque growing in your coronaries. By the time you have a symptom, the underlying process has been growing for 20 years. So the two sources of information, the personal and the scientific, are complementary. So the smart move is to use all the information available. We listen to our body, but we also look at statistics of what happens to thousands of people when they do this or that. Because at the end of the day, we're all human, and we're a lot more similar than we'd like to believe. So let me know your thoughts, what struggles you're going through, gastrointestinal or otherwise, and how you're navigating those issues. I'll keep making videos and trying to help people figure out the intricacies of nutrition science to the best of my ability. So stay in touch, and I'll see you very soon on the next video. Bye-bye. If you thought that video was useful, consider sharing with others who might be interested, and hit that like button and subscribe for more nutrition made simple. Also, feel free to link up with me on my Facebook page and on Twitter for more in-depth nutrition science. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.